What is up, Whale family? This is Nytmare bringing you Hang Time, where we talk NBA Top Shot, the market, fantasy basketball, and all things hoops hype. Just wanted to give a big pre-birthday what up to everyone. Tomorrow we will be having the large, the fantastic, the magnificent Whale 12-hour plus live stream celebration for the anniversary of Whale. So props to the whole community for helping to build this amazing thing that we have here, and we'll definitely have a lot to celebrate tomorrow. So please make an effort to be there. If you can't be there for the whole thing, I would still recommend you guys pop in and take part, because there will be lots of cool stuff to experience. And who knows, you'll likely walk away with something as well. But to basketball and to hoops, glad to say the weather has return to form. We're in the 70s and 80s where I'm at, up by Boston, and my hoop is up. The courts are unlocked, so I'm ready to go out and injure myself soon. But with regards to the NBA, the playoffs are now set, and it looks like we had talked about, the Celtics and the Lakers both found themselves in the play-in, not in the field. The Celtics actually yesterday rested a lot of their starters, and the Knicks were able to lock up the number 4 seed. And it was pretty funny watching on social media all of the Knicks fans just being sure that they were going to tank it, even with the Celtics sitting their starters there. So fortunately for the Knicks, that didn't happen. They eked out, I think it was a 4-point win, 96-92 over the C's. But it'll be interesting to see how this play-in plays out. If the Celtics can survive against Washington and their scoring barrage, we may have a unique revisit with Kyrie Irving in the playoffs. So that will be a lot of fun if that happens, for sure. In other news, wanted to talk about the Hall of Fame. It was very cool to see that 3 Celtic legends will be going in. So Bill Russell as a coach, Mike Gorman, who's a longtime Celtics announcer, and the truth, Paul Pierce. I'm sure you guys know I'm a huge C's fan, and it's very cool to see Pierce get in, especially, you know, having been a fan and seeing his evolution as a player. He was kind of a loose cannon a little bit when he came in out of Kansas. Him and Antoine Walker were just running and gunning, putting up a crazy amount of threes long before it was in vogue in the league. So shot selection kind of sucked, and a lot of people questioned his leadership, quite honestly. We had a lot of exits from the Eastern Conference Finals and in the playoffs against the Nets. And I recall one year him leaving the court and just ripping off his jersey, and everyone saying, this guy's trash, he's not a leader, he's not Celtics material. And then seeing that evolution where he really came into his own and became a leader, and quite honestly, a force on the court that was near impossible to stop. You know, a lot of people can score, a lot of people have athletic gifts, but once you develop that killer instinct and you can really will a game to manifest the way that you want, then that's something special. And you knew watching him at the end of the game that he was that kind of player. So a little bit soft-spoken, not as outlandish as some of the contemporaries that he had at the time, but definitely super, super underrated and impactful. So awesome to see Paul Pierce get in. But that being said, the Hall of Fame announcement had me all up in my feelings, and it wasn't even because of the C's. It was because of, my goodness, where did I put this? Sheesh. This guy, Chris Webber. So Chris Webber going into the Basketball Hall of Fame was just super cool to see for a lot of reasons, and especially when they had him on the stream on ESPN and it was Jalen Rose talking to him. And if you aren't familiar with the Fab Five freshmen and you are a fan of hoops, I definitely recommend you check out that ESPN 30 for 30 on them, or at the least look them up on YouTube. Transformative to the game of basketball. Like absolutely transformative, and one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in my fandom. But you know, Chris Webber and Jalen Rose had a falling out, and to see them both on stream to celebrate this together, and they exchanged some "I love yous" and stories of from when they were a kid, and you know, and scrubbing their sneakers with their toothbrush, which I can recall as well. Ajax works wonders too with a face cloth, but it was super cool to see. And the Fab Five to me happened at a time when I was really coming into my own as a person and looking at some different things. And basketball was kind of cathartic and an outlet for me. And these guys representing something really cool. They were the anti-establishment at the time. They were the antithesis of what basketball and college basketball was supposed to be, right? Like going up against North Carolina, going up against Duke, these, prestigious, really reserved establishment type of places, and just being themselves. And by doing that and being anti-establishment and being defiant and standing up for what they thought was cool as a collective, despite what the rest of the country was saying, and being a true force that changed the game forever, right? Like they were the first ones to rock the really baggy clothes for basketball. They had the black socks. They were looked at as thugs and outlaws, but they really changed the way that people looked at that and looked at individuality, and it kind of transcended the game a little bit. So it meant a lot to me to see Weber get in. I thought it was super cool, and especially his reuniting with Jalen Rose there. But some other news, Steph Curry landing the scoring title at this point in his career after, I think, 5 years since his last run at it. So that was a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment by him as well. Some very cool stuff in the league that had occurred over the weekend, and just wanted to call that out. And then from a marketing perspective, an NBA Top Shot, we had the FanDuel cross promotion, which is very cool. We're heading into the playoffs. Maybe we're going to ratchet up some more marketing beyond what we know. But seeing this kind of cross-platform thing to bring in new users was pretty cool. People had the opportunity to win packs. I got absolutely wrecked. My experience and kind of drafting a squad that way with a salary cap and trying to find the best value is not that great. So some other people in the community might be able to give us some tutorials, because I think a lot of us ended up kind of middle of the pack there. Although I do know, I think Tigbo actually ended up in a decent position after playing someone that didn't even get minutes. So I think he missed someone on the injury report. So he may have actually placed. So maybe he can give us some pointers. But that was cool to see from a marketing perspective, them pushing more stuff. And the other thing that was super cool is, Roham talked about they had partnered with the NBA and actually did an NFT drop for the Charlotte Hornets at a game. So this evolution of getting NFTs and getting the common people that aren't used to the crypto sphere and the NFT space involved in this ecosystem is happening. And it happened on the Flow blockchain, and it was an NFT very specific to the Charlotte Hornets, but still super cool from an animation perspective and what it was, right? So I think 88 people had the opportunity to purchase this, and so it still had some scarcity. It had a limited edition, and he even alludes to in his tweet, this is just the start. Once we're ready, we want to bring the power of NBA Top Shot to supercharge the local fan experience at every level. So, you can see this evolving to have Top Shot literally be part of the experience live at NBA games, possibly during broadcasts and a lot of other platforms and opportunities for it to really spread. But right now, as we continue to work through the infrastructure, a lot of the kinks and things of that nature, things are reserved. But when things are in place, it looks like they're ready to just open the floodgates and do a lot of cool stuff that will bring in a lot of users to the platform. So that being said, let's take a look at the market. Everybody knows that things continue their downward slide. It looks like yesterday we had the second lowest dollar sales volume in the past several months. I think there was one in the 600s. So this is a testament to the values dropping on some of the lower tier cards. I know there was a lot of talk of the return of $1 moments, right? There were moments that people were able to scoop up for $1, whether that's because they can see it being an easy flip at some point because it can't stay at that floor in their opinion, or if it's a bunch of bots grabbing it, or people that are opportunistically trying to, stash cheap moments to get tickets to try to redeem for those Series 1 packs that they're going to release for tickets down the line. Either way, it's been a while since we had as many as we did over the past period here. So interesting to see how that continues to evolve, especially when they actually institute the ticketing system where you can redeem it for tickets. Then I can't imagine that this price floor would stay, because a lot of people would want to hold on to those moments to try to get tickets. And I would think that would be happening already. So does that mean that a lot of the people that were putting these moments on the market were some of these speculators, some of these renters that are only in here to try to flip a pack, right? They're buying it and just trying to make a profit and get out. It's possible, it remains to be seen, and we will see with a little bit more time going on here in the market. But with regards to account rankings, the Whale Vault continues to hold the number one slot. A little bit of a slide here. We were at the $49,000 to $50,000 range. So, we've slid a bit down to 46 at what seems to be, possibly a bottom. We don't know. It could slide more, but strong hold on value because of the nature of the cards. All, high serials for the most part, and some of the highest rarities. There was a little bit of a discussion going on in the monthly audit with regards to the valuation methodology. And, one thing I chimed in with was, right now they're looking at an average of all moments sold within a time period, unless it's the number 1 serial or the jersey. And obviously those are anomalies and have exorbitant costs relative to the rest. But if you have a number 2 or a number 3 serial or something of that nature, it's in a different, it's in a totally different tier than the rest of the entire circulation. And that circ average is going to be heavily weighted towards the much lower value cards. So there may be an opportunity to parse it even further. Is that feasible with the amount of work that would need to be done on a monthly basis? I'm not sure, but I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it in that thread, and you guys could chime in with your thoughts as well. Maybe you think it is accurate, their valuation. But I think that there's an opportunity to fine tune the way we look at it a little bit more, so we have an accurate representation, more so like we're looking at here, which accounts for what the community believes is value in jersey numbers, serials, and things of that nature. And with the values being what they were, I decided to just do a little bit of shopping. One of the cards I snagged was just this Peyton Pritchard. C's rookie, showed some flashes, hasn't done a ton, nothing to set the world on fire. But that being said, he is a 4-badge rookie, right? So 3 of the rookie badges plus his Top Shot debut, and he's, possibly could turn into something at some point. To me, I said, hey, this might be something I take a flyer on, which is not unlike what I used to do with regular trading cards, right? I said, hey, this rookie possibly could turn into something big. I'm going to hedge my bet on it and hold on to it. And really, that was the extent of the opportunity cost for me, really, is just holding it as opposed to, trading it or turning it in. But wasn't a huge investment to get involved, so why not, right? So I took this as an opportunity to do a little shopping. Maybe you guys are too. When I take a look at the comments at the end, I'd be interested to see if you guys went and tried to pick anything up while prices are at this level they're at right now. But over the past week, we did see the pre-registration packs again get released. I opened up my release 34 and got all bums, knowing that I would, remembered even right here on the stream. So 3 tickets, and the ticket string continues for me. I think you've seen me open a couple of packs where I had a similar result, but that's okay. That's not dissimilar to what would happen if I went out to a store and bought a regular pack. I'm okay with that. It shouldn't be that every pack I get something awesome and it's something I can flip. That being said, I am overdue for a low serial. I have not gotten any excellent serials. Shout out to DC. I think he said his wife pulled LeBron block serial number 75. So nice pull there. I think that's like a $500 to $800 pull, and that was just out of the reservation base set. So it can happen. I am overdue, and maybe Jobu can bring that mojo. Although I still don't have the Jobu emoji yet. Still waiting on someone to step up to the plate, or I might have to literally get someone on that task. But there is another reservation base set available right now. I think you have until Wednesday to reserve this pack that will drop on the 21st. A lot of people not happy with the number of cards going into circulation, but that being said, it's allowing us to onboard more people, possibly getting a lot of the flippers out of the market and bring it to more of a traditional collector user base. And then we'll see what that does. If that steadies things to a level that can then start appreciating, as cards would have their natural tendency to appreciate with Rookie of the Year announcements, with playoff activity and things of that nature. And that being said, I have seen a few people talking about, hey, it's the playoffs and the value is X. Number one, the playoffs haven't officially started, so I don't know that the hype is there. Number two, we don't know what else they have in store. Obviously, I would think that the activation of the live NFT drop at Charlotte, of the FanDuel partnership and the cross-platform thing going on, I would think the timing was chosen with some kind of purpose, right? As we're leading in. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have some other significant things happen as the playoffs begin and evolve. We will see. Throwdowns Series 2 Challenge 1 is already done. That just wrapped up, I think, an hour or two ago. 382 people completed this. So not a ton of circulation that's going to be in this Blake Griffin throwdown, but we will see. It looked like that because of this pack leading a lot of negative EV and people not being used to that with the rare pack. Maybe there was some hesitancy or maybe some smarts in not participating. It could be the player that was the reward. We'll see. But only 382 completions of this. And speaking of the throwdowns, I snagged this pack and I actually saved it for an entire week so that we could open it together. So I'm rooting for a Ja Morant, maybe an Anthony Edwards, maybe a Zion. We'll see. Maybe something with that low serial that we talked about. Maybe Jobu pays me a visit, but we will open that together. But like I mentioned, it was probably the first taste of negative EV on a rare pack that people have had. And we will see what that does to rares going forward. This was at a unique price point at this $149, before we had seen some rares at $99. And based on the resale values of a lot of these moments, along with what else came in the pack, it looked like that's likely, the break-even value that would have been, more fair, if you want to call it, with regards to, getting the value out of the cards for resale that would match what you paid for the pack. So, those moments right now continue to slide, although there are a few clear-cut winners. We will see what happens with these going forward. I don't think that we're done with rare packs for the year. I think there's a couple of others slated. So let's see if they keep the same methodology from a pricing perspective and also from a scarcity perspective. So Hustle and Show 2 is actually scheduled to drop, which is just an enhancement of the base set, but still something different. That's cool. So that's on slate, and there's likely some other special things also. They talked about rookies possibly dropping. There's obviously playoff sets that could happen as well. They did announce these new quests that you can do. So starting with this showcase quest, you can create a showcase tagged with a specific keyword, and by fulfilling some of the requirements, you can get a cool moment that you can only get by doing these quests. So for example, for this one, if you can create this showcase and complete it by the 19th, you'll get a Ben Simmons Cool Cat moment that obviously will be required to complete the massive, longest running promotion in history, the Cool Cats Master Challenge, when it comes out. So a new way to gamify what you do, and maybe a way for people to participate outside of what they had been doing before, or if they hadn't been. And then also just wanted to talk real quick. The Dapper balance has had a tweak here. You now have this non-withdrawable balance. It says it's going to be from promotional campaigns and other sources. So there may be some things that you can do where you can actually earn money as a balance, or maybe they can, maybe they're going to drop funds for people to use to specific users that have done certain things and qualified. Maybe it's used as a vehicle to onboard some people, right? They get dropped a couple bucks to grab a couple of $1 or $2 moments. Who knows? But this is certainly new and worth keeping our eye on. And then also from a KYC perspective, they have opened up, you can opt in to start the KYC process. And in doing so, once you're verified, users have the marketplace cooldowns removed. So you'll be exempt from the cooldowns and you can go in there and, shop and sell to your heart's content. So those are some significant, quality of life changes that they're implementing that have been asked for some time. And, hopefully if you've been waiting for that, that makes you pleased that you can go in and buy like a madman. In the sports collectible market, I saw this cool chart on Rookshot, which actually shows the NBA Top Shot dollar sales volume and growth versus what's happening in MLB with Tops and with So Rare with soccer or football, depending where you're at. And you can see that, MLB had their initial jump there in late April, but since then has leveled off. We have a bit of a pickup recently with So Rare, and Top Shot continues to decline. It's so divergent what's happening here, but obviously a catalyst really drove at the end of April the sales volume that you see there. And now things, just like the whole market, to be honest with you, are in a bit of a lull, whether it's crypto, whether it's NFTs, whether it's these collectibles. I actually had to toss my cell phone into my laundry basket away from me because every time it buzzes, I'm getting anxiety because of what's going on in the market. And I'm not even talking about just collectibles. So this is not a unique situation to just what we're collecting, what we're looking at here. This is the entire market. We will see if there's a catalyst in the near future that brings us back up in the other direction. And one other thing I wanted to make mention, if you weren't on the Whale Discord earlier today, Gian had an amazing artist fireside chat with Walter Luce Jr., who has taken some of the most iconic sports photography that you've ever seen. All of these photos that he's done. He's taken the picture of the catch with San Francisco in the Super Bowl. He's taken Jordan on his epic dunks that you've seen posterized all over the place. I think I threw up a Kemp that he did that was absolutely sick because I'm a big Rain Man fan. But he has a drop coming up as well with some of his iconic photography. This is his second NFT drop. So anyone interested in these particular photos or getting some really iconic sports photography into their collection, this could be a cool one. This Kevin Garnett is absolute fire. Wish it was a C's uniform, but the moment in time that's captured is absolute fire. So a very cool drop and a little bit something different for the sports fans that are in our audience. So with that being said, I have this throwdown pack to open. I want to make sure you guys can experience it with me. Hopefully I score one of those players I had mentioned or something that's pretty cool, a low serial. But if not, I've already come to peace with the EV and what could possibly happen here. So I do it for you guys. I do it for the fam. Let's open this together. All right, so obviously not getting that Jobu emoji done before I opened the pack. I paid the price for that, but you know what? I do it for the fam. So I'm okay. I know that I will have it in place. I must get this emoji done for everyone to be able to spread the mojo prior to the next rare drop, and I will make sure that I do that. I'm going to take a look at the chat, see what you guys want to chat about and talk before I'm out of here, because we have a lot of stuff in store for tomorrow. So I want to make sure I get it all ready for you guys. I think you guys are going to have a good time and you will definitely enjoy what we have in store. Let me see. I do like the music that went with it, though. Knicks fans don't know how to act with a winning record. You know what? I don't know if that's a new thing, quite honestly. Quite honestly. I'm taking a shot at the Knicks. You know, that's always been a rivalry, but I love it when the Knicks are relevant and the Knicks are good, because that's old school, hard-nosed basketball, and I love to go up against them in the playoffs or see them really smash mouth against a finesse team. That's always fun to see. Nytmare still has nightmares about those Heat teams. Not really. Not really. Not really. I didn't like Ray Allen over there, that's for sure. That left me a little salty. Other people mentioning that they love seeing, Jalen Rose and Chris Webber saying that they love each other after not talking all that time. Yeah, it definitely was big, and being so big into the Fab Five, for me, it was big to see, right? It felt like things were right in the world that were kind of messed up. It's weird. It means that team and those players mean more to me than basketball for some reason. And I tried to touch on why a little bit, but it was just an iconic period of my life and kind of shaping my view of the world. So seeing them kind of fractured just didn't sit well. And so now I feel much better about the whole situation. Am I not going to shout out Chris Bosh? Am I a Heat hater? No, not really. I mean, I could give definitely Chris Bosh deserves his props for what he did, really holding it down for the Heat there, and everything he's done in his career. Unfortunately, with his condition and injuries, it kind of sidelined him for a little bit, but not hating on anybody, really. I don't really hold a lot of player grudges or team grudges over time. I'm able to look at it for how it is. There are a few exceptions, and Bosh is definitely not one of those guys. I'm cool with Bosh. Props to Bosh, props to the Heat. Esoteric giving us tips on how to know who to play in the FanDuel League. I need to watch DFS content on YouTube. I suppose, my friend, it's a lot of stuff moving behind the scenes here, so hard to find that extra time. But I think I'll get DC involved in the next one, and so then I'm always motivated to finish higher than him. If I can crush DC, even if I come in, if there's 100 people and I come in 99th and DC's 100th, I'm cool. Ragkey revisiting the need to burn moments. Yeah, that's still something a lot of people have a contention with, that they're not doing that. It's not clear what the purpose is of recirculating the moments that people don't really want. Someone brought up an interesting thing about the NBA Players Association. If it had a direct impact on royalties for individual players, if things were taken out of circulation, and they said no. The way that it works is collectively all the money goes to the pool and then is paid out evenly to the players. So I can't confirm or deny that, but if that's the case, then there really would be no reason to not burn them, right? But these people are in there thinking of just this all day, whereas I'm running around doing a zillion things, so I'm sure they have rationale that makes sense, and maybe it will be revealed to us over time. Esoteric said he picked up some dirt cheap moments you did, and you made some cool showcases with them as well. And DC stunting, showing out with his wife's pull of that LeBron. Joe Boo told me to bet on Luka. Well, Joe Boo can play tricks on you, Jay Motesk. So you gotta watch it, especially if we don't have this emoji installed yet. Nytmare, remember that Braun Heat team? What? Tigbo, what's up with the Heat? Pack was disappointing, just like mine. Did anybody pull a dope pack from throwdowns, or has everyone had a rough go of it? Terminator says his was bad. Likes to Bluff said it was trash. Well, it looks like the consensus is there's a lot of Tigbo. What do you mean you haven't opened yours? Saving it for us. Well, when's that going to happen? All right, Tigbo, you've been saying you want to rip a pack. Do you want to do it now? Or you want to save it for next week? Or do you want to wait for the Joe Boo emoji to be installed so we can all Joe Boo the chat and spam it and give you the mojo? If it was me, I wouldn't roll the dice, but it's on you. All right, we will wait. That's probably for the best because we have a lot of stuff to prepare for tomorrow. Listen, I am telling you guys, all things aside, you want to be here tomorrow. Definitely show up when you can. I know it's a long time, a long period, but take a look at the calendar. There's some cool giveaways. We're going to make it rain. It'll be worth your while to pop in when you have an opportunity. So, hope to see everyone here tomorrow for the big bash for the whale anniversary that we got going on. And until then, you guys do what you do in the market, scoop up those moments that are on discount right now, and we'll be able to talk about what a great bargain we found when the price comes soaring back up after the next catalyst. So you guys have a good one. I will check you tomorrow.